Greetings, everyone. Welcome to another video of Judge's Reader Perspective. All right, so today we're going to be talking about understanding the Rasi or the Zodiac signs. And with that being said, we're going to talk about balance today and fairness and equality, all of those things. You all pretty much know the Rasi or the sign I'm referring to. Everybody gets a fair trial. Everybody deserves a second chance. I kind of see it both ways. It doesn't matter how I think about it. It's what everybody can get along with. That's right. The justice sign, or as we would call the librarians, just playing, Libra, or in Sanskrit, Tula Rasis. That's what we're talking about today, my grateful audience. So, what is Libra? What are the dates of Libra? Well, as a lot of people in Western terms, they would refer to Libra August 23rd to September 23rd, all right? Let's just say that doesn't apply here. Because as you know on my channel, it's Judge's Vedic perspective. So we're talking about Vedic terms. And with Vedic astrology, we follow the sidereal placements. So, Tula Rasis or Libra Ascendant's birthdays fall around September 17th to October 17th. All right, so if you're going by the Western terms, it's August 23rd to September 23rd, but it's really September 17th to October 17th. Well, let's just say, but in my natal chart, I'm Libra, both Western, tropical, and sidereal both. Why is that? Well, that's because between the dates of September 17th to September 23rd, you Libra in both. However, there's going to be different degrees, different nakshatras, different padas. So if you're born around like September 17th to September 23rd in your tropical chart, you're going to be in the latter degrees of Libra. However, in the sidereal placements of Libra, if you're born around September 17th to September 23rd, you will be in the earlier degrees of Libra. And that will fall under a different nakshatra. So regardless if you say that you're Tula in both tropical and sidereal, it's different degrees, different placements. It's a differential of 23 degrees, all right? So the true dates are September 17th to October 17th. That is the Libra season. However, that's not your ascendant. It's just your natal sun or your solar or Surya placements. That's just where your sun is placed. And remember, the sun is actually the karaka or the significator of your father. So it just means that your father was very fair, balanced, handsome man that was probably into the arts or bohemianism. All right? Very theatrical. So with that being said, these videos pertains to everyone. So if you are a Libra sun, a Libra moon, or a Libra rising, everybody has Libra in their chart. You could be anywhere. Libra can fall in your 7th house, it can fall in your 8th, it can fall in your 2nd, your 3rd. That's why I made these videos so my audience can relate to all 12. So if you're not a Libra Lagna Ascendant, it still applies to you. It depends on where the Libra Rasi is placed in your chart. So let's start with the first house. For the Tula Lagna Ascendants, Venus is your chart lord. And Venus is about art, pleasures, the material blessings of this world. When it comes to poetry, singing, sculpting, even architecture, if you were to mingle a little Mercury and Mars into it. So if you are a Libra rising, your life is about finding an equilibrium. Your appearance comes off as not as youthful as the Virgos or the Geminis, but there's a balance to you. Like everything is intricate. and refined. It's like your whole image was sculpted by the gods. So if you are a Libra Ascendant, don't be amazed if people say you're being disingenuous. Or if anybody asks you, what do you think of this perspective? You're not going to really give you how you truly feel, because you want to find stability in it all. Because your natural essence are relationships, how you relate to everyone. You're also good at business, because Libra is naturally the 7th house of partnership and business. You're very entrepreneurial. You're very expressive. Extroverted too. It's not a bad thing. So when you go around in life, you're great to have in a friendly friendship circle. However, there are some people that will think you're being fake or dishonest, and you probably get that a lot. But that's okay. You're just trying to find harmony. So if that's the life path you chose, your soul chose it. In past lives, you probably only saw your perspective and not others. You probably had a superiority complex, my way or the highway. So now you have to see how the shoe fits, or you're going to know what it's like to see the grass is greener on the other side. Everybody wants to be in a relationship with you because you find that balance. You almost as if you have the stereotype of being blood type AB. They get along with everyone. They're compatible with virtually anyone. So you're all about finding balances. People won't ever know when you're angry, Libra Ascendants. And that's okay. Only you know your boundaries. But don't ever contradict your heart, because that will tend to happen. Okay, if you have Libra or Tula in your 2nd house, this refers to the Kanya Rashis, or the Virgo natives. With the Virgos, you grew up in a family to where everybody was nice, fair, never really knew their opinions. And when it comes to money, you want to ascertain that everybody is getting a fair share. That's how Virgos like to distribute their funds or treat their family members. I want to treat them all the same. I don't want to show favoritism, because if I do, they will see my imperfections. So when it comes to your family, Virgo natives, you like to pair bond with them. You want to see if everybody's getting fair treatment. There's probably some artists in your family. That's probably how the Virgo developed that perfectionism, because they grew up around people that can draw, write, sing, and do all of those things. And this goes for all the other signs that I'm about to go over. Wherever Libra is, you're going to try to find balance and harmony. So Virgos are very tedious about trying to get in arguments with their family members. Even when it comes to the speech, Virgos have soft, balanced speech. They want to make sure they don't offend anyone when they speak. 3rd house. If you have 3rd house Libra, I'm talking about the Leos now, the Simha Rashis. You like to be fair and balanced when it comes to your local surroundings. As a king, in their birth order, they're typically the first in line. And all of your younger co-borns, they are heirs or heirs to the throne. So you try to be fair and balanced and not to do anything to upset them or offend them, because your legacy relies on your younger siblings if you are unable to produce offspring. So when it comes to communications for the Leo ascendants, you like to sound very conservative when you speak. You don't want to offend anyone, because you're here to deliver a message that's fair for the entire community. And that's a great thing about Leos, because you want to come off as if everybody's getting a fair share, especially with your neighbors. If there was a neighbor to see you treating them better because you have common interests with them, a Leo is very subconscious of that, because they're going to look at that other neighbor. I see you're visiting Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so quite often. I don't understand. And that would hurt a Leo very much, because Leo is very hearty. That's what they mainly are, about their heart. So a lot of simhas, these lions, that's why they have prides. They want to make sure everybody's getting along because a pride will take you a long way. And third house is the lion's pride. Now, if you have Libra in your fourth house, this is for the Karkata Rashi Ascendant Lagnas, or the Cancers. This is your home. Fourth house is your home, your parents, mainly the mother, real estate, conveyances, and your native homeland. With Karkata natives, you find balance in your home. You go into a Cancer's home, it's very motherly. So think about this. There's a cat that has a litter of kittens. Does the mother treat all of the kittens differently? No. Everybody has an udder to suck from. That's how it is with Cancer natives. In their home, if they were to have any offspring or children, I guarantee you, everybody's getting a fair share. Everybody. If they were to have just a single child, you get all of it. If there were two of you, 50-50. If there were three of you, a third each. Four of you, a quarter. Five of you, a fifth. You get it. So that's how it is when you grow up with Cancers, because they're very nurturing. They want to ascertain everybody gets the same amount of Christmas gifts. Everybody gets the equal treatment on a birthday. And when they pass on, they want to ascertain that everyone in the home get the equal amount of inheritances. So it's a very artsy home, very bohemian. I guarantee you go into a Cancer's home, you will see beautiful artifacts, sculptors, or poetry and hallmarks everywhere. They also drive very balanced cars. You won't see them driving a car that fits their personality. It's going to be a vehicle that fits the family's personality of that home. So again, wherever Libra is, you're going to find balance, harmony, art, and everything. However, people will think that this home comes off, I would say, a bit disingenuous because your home doesn't look like all of your neighbors. So just be self-aware that people think you're more than you ought when you're really just trying to find balance and make sure nobody gets offended. All right, Libra in the fifth house. As I've stated in all my other videos, this is a tricona placement. This is the house that you have fun, past life good credit, things that are supposed to inspire you to be greater. It's also the house of children, your romantic partners, creativity, self-expression, and celebrity status. What makes you fun? What makes you click? So I am talking about the Mathuna Rashi Lagna, or the Gemini rising ascendant natives. So why would Libra be here in your fifth house, Gemini? Well, when you have fun, you like to get creative with it. It's very artsy. Venus rules this placement. When it comes to Gemini's romantic partners, you want somebody that's very fair and blessed. You want somebody to really find what it is about you that I need to work on. So when a Gemini is trying to have fun, they will go for somebody particularly that's the it person. Or a Gemini wants a challenge to go for the person that everyone else has vied for. And there's nothing wrong with that. That Venusian energy, everybody will want a piece of that because there's value to it. Gemini wants to go after somebody that's valuable to them, that's going to allow them to have fun but maintain balance, because Geminis are everywhere. They're smart, they're witty, they're clever, they're quick, they get bored very easily. But that Libra in the fifth house is going to find balance, because if your life is all about fun and the fifth house is about fun, you're going to want to find balance. And that's why the fifth house for Gemini is there. That Libra energy is going to bring some love and romance that's going to make me settle down and sit down somewhere before my sixth house of Scorpio is going to take over, to where I want to gain power and get out of control. So when it comes to a Gemini's children, they don't care if it's boy or girl, because it's like the twins. It's androgynous. They don't matter if they have a son or a daughter first. They just want both. They don't want just all boys, or they just don't want all girls. They want that chemistry between a male and a female, or a brother and a sister. And that's what I get from the Mithuna Rashi's fifth house, with Tula being there. You want to find balance in the activities that you do, something that's beautiful and graceful. So, proceeding on to Libra in the sixth house. Sixth house is the second Upachaya placement. Upachaya means gain through time. Work hard where it's easier later. So when you have Tula in your sixth house, and this is for the Vishaba natives or the Taurus ascendants, the sixth house for Taurus, with Libra being there, there's not really any obstacles in their way. You know why? Because Taurans are born with a challenge already. The moment a Tauran come out of the womb, you say, I have work to do around this place. I don't have time for it. I want to defeat and get over my obstacles now so I don't have to worry about it later. That way I can be at ease. Because remember, Venus or Shukra rules Vishaba and Tula. It rules Taurus and Libra, the first and the sixth. So it rules your Lagna, which is a wonderful placement, and a not so wonderful placement of the sixth house. So Venus is going to ascertain that the Vishaba ascendants do not have to go through these struggles so early on. They would rather take care of it now and not worry about it later. If you were to be at work doing your day-to-day grind, you would keep peace and harmony with it, because Taurans don't go looking for trouble. They're too focused and they're stubborn. So if you were to fight with a Tauran, you're really wasting your time, because they're going to find balance at work. They're not going to ruffle anyone's feathers, because they know they're here to make money, get that paycheck, come home, or if they are an independent contractor, or if they're a small business owner, you're not going to interfere with your customers, and you're not going to argue with them. As a matter of fact, you may let your enemies win from here now and then, because you know your reputation is on the line. That's the house of enemies and diseases. So Taurans are going to make sure I have no issues in that area, because it's a benefic placement. So I don't expect Taurans to really fight with you. If you do, they're going to be stubborn as ever. You're not going to get anything out of them. They realize, I don't have to deal with you. I know what I have at home. I got $20,000 in the bank. I got a pantry full of food. My husband's full. My wife is full. My children are set. Get out of my face. Now, if you have Tula in your seventh house, we are talking about the Aries ascendants. If your ascendant is Mesha Rashi and you got Tula in your seventh house, you're looking for a business or somebody else that can balance out your passionate behavior. Because Libras, they really don't care about what's going on in their lives. They're more associated with others. They want to see what everyone else is doing. So with this Aries, that's all about what I have to do, the I. Libra is saying us, we, let's, all right? So an Aries with that selfish nature is going to need to pair bond with someone that has a selflessness to them. That way it balances out. Because you have Mars and Venus, male and female. They're total opposites. They can't stand each other. But when that male and female energy intertwines, it creates life. So even though Librans don't really focus on themselves, or people think they have self-esteem issues, no, they don't. They're here to complete someone. And that's why Libra's in the seventh house. If Aries were to marry a Libra, that is a match made in heaven. Although they have their own issues to settle out. That's the beauty of it. Issues settling out while we're on this terrestrial plane. So if you were to go into business, Arians prefer to have men and women there. They prefer a co-ed university. Not somewhere that's just men. Because if you put an Aries female with a bunch of other women, there will be obstruction and challenges. If you were to put an Aries male with nothing but other males, there's going to be intense competition, and there's going to be favorites on the team. Where if you have that Libran on the team, there will be balance and there's teamwork and a partnership will get done. Libra in the 7th house for the Mina Rasi or the Pisces Ascendants. This is the house of joint assets, inheritances, other people's money, the house of sex, rebirth, transformation, power and destruction, and horror, scandal, taboo. The area of life that we don't like to really mention. So for a Pisces Ascendant, Libra is here because you would have something to do with being creative in the business field of law and taxes. If you were to have a business card, it'll be so elegant and lovely. And it could be for bail bonds. You could work for a bail bonds company. You walk into the office, you would think it would be dingy, but it would actually be quite appealing. If a Pisces wanted to go into that field, I'm just saying. Also, when it comes to the sexual activities, Libra being cardinal, as you would say, or movable, you would take charge. You prefer somebody that has a fairness when it comes to sexual activity. They would consider what your needs are. Because as chaotic as a Pisces would get with their emotions, again, Libra would bring that balance. Because consider, Venus is Mulat Dracona, or has owner strength in Libra, whereas Venus is exalted for a Pisces. But that can also be too much of a good thing. So Pisces will have an affinity for its 8th house since Venus is strong in both of those Rashi placements. When it comes to your family assets or your in-laws, there may be something to work out because Pisceans, they don't care if they receive it or not. They just want to know, is it fair? Because they're here to let go anyway. It's the final sign for them. So when it comes to the Pisceans' 8th house, all they want to know is their fair, equal treatment. Or if there's a scandal that occurs, they want to know, well, whatever I did, they did just as much. And that's where the pettiness in the Pisces will come out. I wasn't the only one involved in this, you know. It takes two to tango. And I want to make sure that that person gets the same punishment or the same scrutiny as I do. Because remember, Pisces is the fish. It's a double sign. They can go both ways if they want. But that's when it comes to their 8th house. Am I getting my fair treatment in this whole ordeal? All right. Venus in the 9th. Oh, sorry. I'm mentioning Venus too much. Libra or Tula in the 9th house. Now, this is a Dracona placement for the Aquarius or the, how would I say, the Kumbh Rashi natives. This is the 9th house. This is the house of philosophies. This is the house of higher learning. This is the house of your dad, your father, the house of teachers and gurus. It's the house of blessings and long distance travel. All right. And this is a good placement. All Dracona is a good placement. It's still ruled by Venus. Now for the Aquarius natives, consider this. Wherever your Venus is placed, that's where you will feel the blessings of your 9th house. Because the 9th house Libra means you had a father that didn't show favoritism, or at least tried not to, based on the dignity of Shukra Venus. But you have a dad that was probably fair. He never took sides when it comes to his children. And that would probably upset many Aquarians because they have a fixed nature. They've been through it all. They've seen so many things and they're very idealistic, a humanitarian. Now, whether Aquarius feel as if their father didn't show favoritism or not, that's where you develop that humanitarianism from Aquarians. So hear me on this. Aquarius, they have the ability to understand many things. But when it comes to the fairness, they want to know, how does it apply to my development of understanding life? So when it comes to also their post-grad education, they want to know this. Can I be creative in my teachings once I leave this university? They want to know, what balance can I find in the universe once I learn this? Because if I'm not getting anything out of my teachers, it's all for naught, because I'm capable of my ideologies of finding something else better to do with my time. So balance is all there is for these Kumbh Rashi natives. They're going to become a mad scientist, because the Aquarius is that old man that refuses to retire. Or if you don't accept my ideas, I'm going to go with it anyway, because I know more than you. And that's what it means to have Libra in the 9th house. Your teachers will grade on a curve. And if Aquarius know they were outstanding and you graded on a curve, they're going to get very belligerent and upset. For example, if there was a cookout and everybody gave it their best, they expect a first place winner or a runner-up, second, third runner-up. But if the judge just say, thank you all for participating, everybody's a winner today, what do you think that Aquarius is going to say or do or feel? Again, I worked hard on this. I've used all of my greatest philosophical and culinary arts to make this meal on this cookout. I know I won, but you're going to sit here and tell me that that guy over there and her over there deserve first place too? Then what's the point of competing? That's what it means to have Libra in the 9th house. Yes, there's balance. Yes, Daddy showed us all equal attention. But I know I've done more in my life than brother or sister number 2, 3, and 4. Now, you put Libra in the 10th house. And this is for the Makara Rashis, or the Capricorns. Now, this is the natural placement of Capricorn. So you best believe when it comes to a Capricorn's 10th house, they're going to make sure that everybody gets a fair treatment at the top. Because here's how a Capricorn thinks. It's a goat. It climbs all the way to the top. They want to look to their left and to their right to see if anyone else is there. Because Capricorns, they don't just want to make it on their own. They just want to make it for themselves. However, if someone else makes it on that level, they're not alone anymore. They have an equal, or they have a peer, because Capricorns consider their peership superior. So if you put Venus up there, if you put Libra up there, Venus and Saturn are good friends in astrology. So Saturn is going to honor whatever Venus does because it's a masterpiece. So in a Capricorn's 10th house, it's a masterpiece to them. They want you to see their career. They want you to see their accomplishments and how beautiful and artistic it is. So in any business that a Capricorn ascendant has, you're going to know they're going to consider it perfect and balanced. And anyone can do this with hard work and studying. You may even have a career in fashion, because Capricorns really don't care about that beauty because they don't think about it initially. When you get to the top, that's all there is. I found my balance, and I want everybody to see that once I make it up there. Now, when it comes to having Libra in your 11th house, this is for the Dhanush Rashis, or the Sagittarius ascendants. Sagittarius is the final fire sign, which means there are cannons. They're the archers, and they're ready to cut loose. And 11th house is the house of your career gains. It's the gains of your social status. It's your networking potential. It's the house of your elder siblings, your hope, wishes, and dreams coming true. So as loose and as debating and relentless as a Sagittarius, why would they want to find balance in this house to where they got it all and earned it all? I can tell you why. Because they're still teachers on the inside. And they want everyone to know how beautiful their networks are. Because a Sagittarius ascendant, when it comes to their friends, because it's the house of friendships, and Venus is Karaka for friends, and Libra itself is all about relationships, they know all of their accomplishments and everything will lead them to the greatest friends in the world. They have friends from all walks of life, very beautiful, non-judgmental, very bohemian, one within themselves. And that's all the Sagittarius really want their end game to be. Harmony amongst all. That's why they come off loose and liberal and they want to debate. They want to challenge against the man. But if you look at their network circle, they're from all walks of life. And they don't care what you think. They're not trolls. They would say, I respect your opinion, or that is noted, or touche. They're not going to argue with you because Sagittarians argued enough in their life. They're all about arguing, but they want to find balance in their friendship circles. And that's what completes them. And they probably grew up with brothers and sisters that were balanced themselves. And they respect them for that. If you're a Sagittarian and you have an older brother or an older sister, I guarantee you looked up to them because they never took sides with you and the other younger siblings. And that's who you always admired to be. So whenever you meet a Sagittarius, as loose as they are, I guarantee you their friends are so wonderful and balanced. All right? And this leads us to the Vrishika Rasi Lagnas, or the Scorpio ascendants. This puts Tula in your 12th house. This is the houses of letting go and letting God. It's the house of endings. It's the house how your life is going to end. Not your death, but the legacy you live. It's going to be the Akashic records that's going to be sent after you're gone, once you live this life. So what does it mean to have Libra in the 12th house for a Vrishika native? Well, Scorpios are very chaotic, all about power. So in the darkness, what do you think that chaos, what is the opposite of that chaos? Stability, order, and balance. When a Scorpio goes home, when they're all alone, they want their shadow to be at peace. If you were to go into the bed chambers of a Scorpio, it's very beautiful. It's very elegant. Everything that they do behind the scenes is pristine. And it's everything. You won't see any filth, nothing. No judgment zone. Because Scorpios need a place of peace to retreat. Even when it comes to foreign customs or foreign lands, Scorpios wants to find someone or relationships that are balanced because they have to deal with chaos all their life. So if they were to go somewhere to where they've never been that's completely neophobic to them, they don't want any more chaos because they want to end their life with balance. That's why whenever there's a Rashi in your 12th house, that's the area where it's going to take you the longest to reach because it's a line. So with Libra being in the 12th house for Vrishika native, they will relish in that. I finally found balance in my chaos. And that would complete the entire circle of the Tula Rashi. So with that being said, I would like for you to subscribe. And I want you to know that the most interesting person in the world is you. Again, you don't have to be a Libra ascendant, but everybody equally has Libra in them. And that's that balance. So keep that in mind. Go over the video, Look at your own chart and see how Libra relates. Also look where your Libra ruler Venus is placed. If you don't understand, I'm always available for a reading with the rates that apply if you want to know how interesting you are. So I'm going to conclude this by saying, when it comes to balance, just know if you have it, there's always someone else that needs it, and they will be with you to find their balance. My name is Judge with another Vedic perspective. Until we meet again, namaste and be blessed, everyone.